An absolute pleasure to welcome you back to the return of Game Time Media Weekly. We've got highlights to get to, and we've got a rapid end to the month of January. So lots to get to. I know the regular season for girls hockey ends this week, and before you know it, we're going to be towards March Madness in hoops. Hoops is where I want to start. Do want to highlight just well, I think we're going to be in for some incredible parity and action throughout the postseason for boys hoops. Not just talking state tournament. I mean, look what's going on in section right now. All of a sudden, Rochester John Marshall has ripped off 10 straight wins. They're on top of the section, looking like they control their destiny for a one seed, 14 and 2 overall. But you always got to look out for Lakeville South, Lakeville North. Both come in at 10 and 6. Farmington, they scheduled very tough this year, coming off their state tournament appearance last year, of course, ending the long drought. And they're not going to let 7 and 8 kind of get them down for what they hope is another run there. They're 3 and 1 in section play, and again, still grinding out. All it takes is what they hope is a run in March, get hot at the right time, and anything can happen. We had Lakeville South and Lakeville North who are also trying to improve their record. They're 2 and 2 and 3 and 2 respectively in section play, but both 10 and 6 after this result from Friday.
Is Wrestler to Green, back to Wrestler. Wrestler on the drive, kicks it back out, 3 on the way by Flea. Is good. Wing at the top of the key, 3 on the way. Is good for Fager. Fager at the top of the key. Fager on the drive, basket and the foul for James Fager. Flea, Wrestler one more time. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. They got to get something off, and Wrestler, oh my goodness gracious, did he just hit that from half court? Who's got it back? After Pishkis couldn't follow, Gant for the tie. He got it! Malachi Gant ties it! It's rebounded by Danielson. He's got it to Fager. Fager from half court. Off the mark, no good. And Lakeville South wins.
So again, South coming in and clipping North in that battle as they get a much needed victory to get to 2 and 2 in the section and now 10 and 6 overall. And it's always a bit sweeter when you can do it against your rivals at their place. Let's take a look at women's hoops. Eden Prairie and Prior Lake. I'm wondering if we've got a collision course in store for the section. As again, Eden Prairie and Prior Lake are the two Game Time Media schools that are getting the love in the rankings, but of course, only one can go to state as they reside both in Section 2. Right now, Eden Prairie 15 and 3, Prior Lake 14 and 3. They have met, and that was back on December 6th at Eden Prairie, in which Eden Prairie beat Prior Lake by 10. They both had an interesting Friday night as well, as Eden Prairie put up 100 points. That is correct. You don't get to see the triple digits too often, but you saw it here on Friday on Eagles Live. Let's take a look at how the Eagles, in a pretty, a well-deserved celebration too, once they got the triple figures up on the board.
Gets it out to Schlegel, 3, right wing, booyah. 1, 2, count them, 3. P gonna get it up to Jordan, 20 seconds on the clock, beautiful up and under. And Vanessa Jordan changing that to maybe more just if it hits 35, you move it no matter what, but we're not there yet. Here's a long 3, and that one is good for Tori Schlegel. Off the back of the heel, rebound for Hooks. She'll try a 3, got it. Jazzy Hooks for them, and I think they're going to be able to find some more wins in that conference for sure. Definitely some positives from this team. And Joshi tries a 3. Absolutely. The crowd going nuts. And Eden Prairie, they've got 100 to their name as they take care of business as Fine gets it across the timeline. That will be the final action.
For what it's worth, since that December 6th loss, Prior Lake has ripped off 11 wins. They're 11 and 2 since that loss on December 6th. Again, they are just one game behind Eden Prairie. It's looking like they're going to be a 1-2 matchup in Section 2, but then you can't count out Minnetonka as they're 12 and 6. Chanhassen, they are 10 and 6. It's going to be a lot of really solid squads. As of course Chaska checks in at 9 and 8, but their section records 2 and 4. So I mean the top 5 seeds certainly going to be fun watch certainly over at Section 2. But Eden Prairie and Prior Lake, again, if all signs point to maybe a meeting in that section championship, still a lot to be decided, but we are inching closer. Again, Prior Lake trying to avenge that early season loss. They're getting hot at the right time too. It wasn't quite 100, but it was close in their Friday night tilt.
Tony Fisher left open, and she knocks it down. And here comes Prior Lake pushing it up ahead for Holmberg. Holmberg will spot up and stick a three. Number 20, Gabby Littman, also into the ballgame as Bree Bowman reins it in from deep. Counting. Burnsville will get one last shot up. It's off the mark, and that will be the final horn.
We'll be back next week to recap some more highlights. We'll take a shift to the ice as we ramp up for girls hockey postseason. Again, and one final note on boys basketball. Not a Game Time media school, but we, of course, cover everything here in the great state of Minnesota. And Cretin Durham Hall, 16-0. Tartan, 15-0. They both reside in Section 4. They do not play each other in the regular season, but it looks like that's possibly going to be a meeting for the right to go to state when it's all said and done. The likes of East Ridge and Stillwater, maybe White Bear Lake and St. Paul Central would like to have a word. Woodbury rounds out that section, but man, could that be the case where those two meet undefeated as we find a 16-0 and 15-0, arguably right now the top two teams in the state, and only one of them will get to go represent a chance to win state as they both reside in Section 4. So again, a lot of fun to keep up, and Adam here in the great state of Minnesota and Prep Sports on Game Time Media Weekly. Good to be back after my time off, and we will get back and cracking again next Monday to take a look at some more in-depth analysis of the ice. That'll be next Monday.